as my experience with Pink Floyd began quite by accident back in 1967, and obviously has followed through to the current day. And one of the things that I noticed when I was recruiting people for this band and people that I talked to about doing this project is a lot of people were not aware of the earlier things that Pink Floyd had done. So my original lineup for the show was to present selections from their entire career, from 1967 right through to 1994. And we did that for 2 years. It was very successful, and a lot of people have come up to us and said, you know, I had heard that before, I didn't even know it was Pink Floyd. Or others have said, I'm going to go out and buy that because I loved it, but I've never heard it before. The difficulty of Pink Floyd's music actually very much took us by surprise. It's not that we went in thinking this is going to be easy, because it's definitely not. The layer upon layer of sound that is in Pink Floyd's music was a huge undertaking to begin with. What surprised us the most is when we tackled the very early songs from their career. We would listen to a song like See Emily Play or Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun, and on first listen you would go, oh, this is not that difficult, this is just a 60s pop tune, we can pull this off. When you start doing these songs, their level of musicianship, their level of creativity, even at that time, was huge. And we had to actually learn a lot of new things and study very hard to accurately recreate that music. Well, my number one favorite would be my guitar. This was built for me by Fender back in around 92, I believe it was. Other things that influenced the Floyd sound a lot, I mean, just about everything you see here has been either acquired specifically for that or modified to be that. You know, the Mesa engineering gear that you see here has all been modified to British specs to produce that British sound. The Hiwatt Signature Series here is an authentic reproduction that Hiwatt made of the amp that David Gilmour actually uses in recording. He does use a small little Hiwatt combo like this, and that's the sound that you hear in his recordings. We get enormous satisfaction from doing this. The Pink Floyd's library of music is so diversified, first of all. We get to touch on ground all over the map. And for our own personal satisfaction, I guess, is one element of it. To actually achieve this music gives us a great feeling of accomplishment. When we have people come up to us and say, you know, wow, that was fantastic. I remember when I saw them back in whatever it may be, 72 or 84 or whenever it was. You know, there's a huge sense of pride that we have done a very good job. Again, getting back to the, why are you playing other people's music? Well, I mean, this is Floyd. Why wouldn't you want to play it? It's a very different approach from the things that I learned starting as a child when I was 7, when I first picked up a guitar. You know, right up and through until I was in my 40s is really when I first started to tackle David. And it was a learning process. I mean, I'm very grateful for it. I've learned a lot from him, but his phrasings are very unique. I call it the upside down technique. That's, you know, as I said before, that's just simply my name for it. You take someone else, you know, like Hendrix, say a Hendrix riff. You know, that's the way that Hendrix flows, or Beck or Clapton or all those guys, you know, they have a very similar flow to how they play, where David will kind of take these riffs and turn them upside down, or start in the middle, go to the top, and then revert back to the beginning. You know, and just in something like, you know, in Time, where he does his... his phrasings are very unique, extremely unique. Probably one of my favorite solos that actually opens a song. It's so beautiful and so melodic, you know, with a definitely one of my favorites.